What is going on, guys? Welcome back here to another video. I haven't posted in about 10 days now. Honestly, I kind of got thrown off my normal schedule, but here we are on the some of you might know this is old, this is real old school, but the second ever Hunger Games or survival games map, I should say, for Minecraft. I was thinking about this map. I don't know if I saw it on like TikTok reel or something like that, but I just downloaded this one to play. I used to play this map a lot. There was a server that used to have a really fun server I used to play back in the day, honest to God, over 10 years ago now. But it was this map. It was Hunger Games, but it was like one of the first ever servers to have it where you'd like have like different kits when you spawned and, you know, all that kind of cool stuff. And they allowed you to break items, and it was basically just a big free-for-all. I really like that way it is, instead of not being able to break stuff. And whoops, but so many good memories on this map, so much nostalgia. But anyways, more importantly, welcome back to the video. Today's video, I wanted to talk about personal accountability, personal not blaming others and always looking for an excuse to not do the things you want to do. And this is one of the biggest things that I struggle with, is always trying to find a cop-out, always trying to find a reason why something, not to do something, a reason to always trying to blame. And that's not really my personality, honestly, but we all fall into the trap of, you know, if something goes the wrong way. I think a big one that a lot of us face is the way we grew up, or the way how we thought growing up, or different habits that we started. And that's fine, like that's true. Like, yeah, I've developed bad habits over the years, procrastination, things like that. But I think we got to get to a point, and it's scary, definitely, where you realize that, you know, it is, you get to a point where you're an adult and you realize, like, yeah, this is my fault. Like, I'm the one that caused this, whatever this bad habit is, or whatever it is you've done. Like, a really good example for me, like I've already mentioned, is procrastination. Like, I always wait till the end, and granted, I've always came through, but sometimes I could have had so much, things could have been so much better, like, yeah, projects at school or tests or anything like that. But I think you can get to a point where you get to an adult and you have to take personal accountability and quit doing and fixing the things you want to fix, and quit trying to blame others or blame whatever the case may be for a reason you act a certain way. Or find excuses to not do that, like just different. And it's tough. We never want to take personal accountability for our lives, and it's just, I think that, here, I'll give another personal example. So when I went to I went to a really small high school, like very, don't get me wrong, it was a really nice school, but small, very small town, not that many kids, so we didn't have very many, you know, courses. It wasn't financially, you know, it didn't make sense, because there was not many kids that could even be qualified to it, so we didn't have very many like AP classes or advanced classes. We honestly didn't even have one AP class, so I was very underprepared when I went to college. And in that case, like, yeah, it was my school's fault that I wasn't prepared for, in, you know, going into like a major that revolves around, you know, a lot of math, a lot of science. It was very difficult to adjust. And at first, like, yeah, like I didn't know what I was walking to, like that was fine. But then I kept, in my mind, I kept, you know, wasn't doing the best that I could. I kept thinking, well, it's not my fault, it's the school's fault, and I wasn't prepared. So, yeah, I get a get out of jail free card. But at some point, you gotta learn that, like, hey, yeah, it was their fault. It was like that situation's fault. But you take you have to take accountability for yourself. Like, I'm an adult. Like, yeah, that happened. I wasn't prepared, but guess what? I can find a way for myself to take accountability and fix the situation. Um, and that's an example in life where I'm like very proud of myself that I was able to adapt to a situation, learn better study habits. You know, I had to put in a little work to up on some fundamental things, but it ended up working out. And again, one of those things where I'm proud of myself for doing that. And I think we all struggle with this. We all um, do things. I think another example for me would be like growing up. I never really, I wasn't like, I'm not like, I wasn't skinny, but I wasn't fat. I was just kind of middle of the line kid, like whatever. Like I was athletic, played football, did all that stuff all through high school. Like, but I never really got over that hump to be like, you know, completely, fit and stuff. I'm still working on it to this day. And in my mind, I always find an excuse like, oh, I grew up and there was always, snacks in the house and, just, junk food and stuff. Not that I was like binge eating and doing that, but like, I was in my mind like, oh, I'm just used to it. So that's just the way it is. But it's kind of freeing in a way and liberating. Like, I'm an adult. I can change the way I think. I can change the way I act. I can cut this stuff out and like make a new identity. I think we all get so stuck in these identities we've had growing up that like it's like a comfort thing. You just act a certain way just because you're so used to it. And and I think we also think if we change the way we are, our actions, our beliefs and stuff that people we're around will lose friends or whoever it is because they'll think, oh, he was fake all along and now he's a different person. But I think that's okay. I think you're allowed to change your identity. I think that's just part of. I if it's in a good direction, you're going down a better path and you're better for it. I think if you judge anyone for wanting to better their lives, that's just selfish and that's very immature. But I guess the message of this video is don't don't hold yourself back. Don't always take the accountability, even if it's not your fault. Even if someone does something to you and it's 100% their fault, just look at it in the mirror and be like, hey, like this happened, whatever. It happened, so I'm gonna have to take accountability and like fix or do whatever happens, even if it really wasn't your fault. And then this isn't like to act like a tough guy or a tough person or whatever you want to call it. Like this is just, I think, really good practical advice. Is I think taking so much accountability to the point where you're able to handle and put even in bad situations, overcome them by practicing it so much. And I do this. I practice even if something happens and it actually is not my fault. Like I always be like, hey, like I'm in this situation. What can I do my best? It's I just blow it off and cut it, take it as a, just a loss. But you can't do that all the time, obviously. But just practicing it, I think, can make harden you to other situations and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, definitely interesting topic. I think something we can all work on and get better here as a group. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really wanted to talk about today. Personal accountability, always, even if it's not your fault, always trying to find a way to fix it or to, better your life. Not always, but finding different ways, I guess. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed exploring this map here with me. It's so many memories. I can remember vividly fighting people and doing stuff on these streets. These played this map a lot growing up on different servers and whatnot. And this was actually what I was looking for all day. And it's kind of funny that um, I'm finding it here at the end. I would always at the beginning run over here because the one server I played, um, always had this certain loot. I forget what it was, but I always would come over here and climb up these and get a certain item that for the match. It was like my go-to spot to go. But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Sorry for not posting in the normal time frame. But yeah, hopefully get back on a good schedule here now. So with that being said, God bless you guys. We have a Discord if you're new to the channel. Join it. Good group of people. So God bless you guys and have a good rest of your week.